Hello, I'm Wendy De Rosa, the founder of the School of Intuitive Studies, and I'm so glad you're here taking this time to tune in, to learn a little bit more about deep healing that happens in the body, to connect to divine guidance, higher guidance, and to receive healing. And I imagine you're here because you are experiencing what we're all experiencing on the planet right now. I mean, such incredible awakening that's happening. It's important. We are we are rising in consciousness, and yes, it's uncomfortable, and yes, it's painful, and yes, it's glorious and powerful at the same time. And anytime we're in an awakening experience, on a collective level, we're also very deeply touched personally with what we might be holding in our body as wounds, as wounded energy. And it's crucial now that we take action steps towards our own, not just our self-care, yes, our self-care, but not just our self-care, also our deeper healing, to go deeper into our body, deeper into the energy system, deeper into learning more about what we're holding in our body. And we can't get there through the mind. We have to go through deeper states of consciousness inside ourselves to really heal and clear what we're holding in the body. Here's what's also important to know: if you are a sensitive and empathic person and intuitive, pretty much that's almost all of us these days. We're certainly in a time where so much that's happening in the collective is triggering us individually, and it's important to recognize that is happening is pointing to a deeper awareness of your abilities and your gifts as a empowered empath, as a strong, clear, intuitive, as someone who can come out of the spiritual closet and really allow yourself to be integrated in this world. If you're a longtime yogi, longtime meditator, someone who has been intuitive and in practice as a healer, I mean, this is important, powerful time for you to be doing your work in the world and for you to be empowered in the world. And one of the ways that we do that is to take care of our energy and do the deeper work, do the deeper healing work. I have a lot to share with you today about the energy body and about spirit guides and angels and how the whole process works. And just know that, if you are someone who is giving in the world, you're a parent, you're a healer, you're a teacher, you're a caregiver on some level, in your life, or honestly, you're just a human being. You're a human being, not just, but a human being who is just learning how to survive every day. It's a process every day. It is so important that this information that you're learning here, that you really grasp it, and not just mentally, but really feel it in your body and allow yourself to receive what I'm here to offer you on that deeper guided level. It's just so important that you let yourself receive, and that's one of the biggest parts of healing work, is that you really let yourself receive in yourself and the light and this information. I'm going to tell you some things, first of all, to talk about wounds in the body and how they manifest in our energy system. So I mentioned there's this beautiful central channel in the center of the body. It has other names that you might have heard if you've been on the path for a long time. Central channel, pillar of light, channel of light, channel of genius. Lots of different terms for it, but essentially, and I'll explain this, is that from the from the tailbone pelvic floor region of the body, tailbone and pelvic floor, through in front of the spine is this meridian. It's the central channel. It's the Sushumna Nadi, which is a relatively, thin meridian in the body. There are other thinner ones, and this was a thicker the one than those, but it's not very big. It's thin, and it's at the same time, it houses in our energy system the consciousness of our soul in communion with divine essence. Another way of saying that is it's us and God. It's our soul and God, our soul and divinity in union with itself, with each other, all is one in that essence, in our being. And to say this also a little bit differently, it's that, our soul is in communion with that light. We are that light when we're not embodied. Our soul is immersed in that light essence, and we are one, and we are in our full remembrance of our self and our purpose and why we're here. And when we incarnate into this body, we forget, we become separate. We go through the process in life of remembering that unity. Well, that consciousness exists at the center of our spine and in the front of it, and it is our center. It is our core. We'll think of core as solar plexus or abs, abdominal muscles. But the core is actually the central channel of the body. And when light starts to infuse into that, into that central channel, and we're illuminating, that luminosity allows an overflow of the central channel of the body. And that would create a wider pillar. That creates the pillar of light in the body, or the channel of grace in the body. Again, I'm using different terminology here, but it's to say that, the central channel and its overflow of prayer, of grace, of light, of awakening, of enlightenment. Dare I use that word? It's so loaded, right? But it's the enlightenment is the luminosity of the central channel. And it's the overflow of it that creates more of a pillar essence in the body. Now, going back here, technically, I'll use this word technically, ideally, nothing should be in the channel but us and God. And I'll say that differently. In the ideal state of a illuminant channel, we are in pure essence with our divinity. Now, we are human beings, and we have gone through lifetimes, and we've gone through karmas, and we've gone through life experiences, and we have imprints in our body. Those imprints are traumas. Those imprints are joyful experiences. They are belief systems. They are vows that we've made. They are, what has helped us evolve and grow as human beings, which means that lots of things get into the central channel, that the central channel is a place of our body where we hold our unity, our divinity, and we hold our wounds and we hold our scars in our system. And in the central channel of the body, we have the process here where when a wound is impacted to such a degree in our energy system that it has shook us to the core, it means that the wound has gotten into the central channel. Now it's a core wound. If you said something to me that didn't land, or let's say you said something to me that did land, and then we had repair about it. I'm so sorry I said that to you, and gosh, I'm taking responsibility for that, and that must have felt terrible. And I say, ouch, yeah, that hurt, and I'm mad at you, but I'll be okay, and I forgive you. I just need to be mad about that. That's part of a repair process. When that's a repair process, and there's lots of repair processes. That's one. But that process means that the wound didn't stick. there's been repair, and I've been able to not allow that wound to impact me so deeply. However, let's say the repair didn't happen and the wound got in so deep, there was no repair. And because there was no repair, my nervous system didn't settle. And my nervous system didn't settle. Instead, it contracted, and I went into fight, flight, or freeze. I went into numb. I went into disassociation. These are all different nervous system responses that are coping mechanisms when we get hurt. And so let's say that happened. And in that moment, I disconnect. I, go into a coping protective mechanism, and the wound gets in. The wound imprints. It goes deeper. It stores memory in my body. It goes into the central channel. And now I'm operating from a very core belief of something like, can't trust anybody, or don't let anybody in, or protect yourself, or, see, nobody's going to see you. No one's going to love you. No one's going to meet your needs. They didn't back then, not going to now. These are all belief systems we start to form in our energy body and in the core of our being that, that imprint very deeply in our energy system. We have these 7 embodied chakras along the spine as well. And so the central channel runs through the chakras. But remember, the more light that's moving through our central channel, the more there's an overflow vibrancy, which creates a pillar. So it's going to feel like sometimes that the pillar encases the chakras. And the chakras, and then the pillar comes, around it. So which means you have a front side to your pillar and you have a back side to your pillar in your body. The front side is how we engage in the world. It's part of our ego consciousness, how we show up and how we engage, and, and through the front body. And we are very front body focused as a society. Typically, we live here in the front of our body. We also have the backside of the pillar, which is where we source ourselves, which is where we receive divinity and grace, which is where we allow ourselves to take in that light, and that we fuel our back body through prayer, through introspection, through self-love, through just receiving from the divine through intention. And that balances the front body and the back body of our central pillar in our system. So, in our chakras in our body, we have lots of, different wounds can manifest in different places in our system, and their power centers at the same time. So as light is infusing into the central channel, and it infuses into the chakras. So when we nourish our central channel, it nourishes the power of our power centers. If we're depleted in the central channel or operating from our wounds, then we are actually operating out of our woundology, our wounds in the second, or excuse me, in all the chakras. Second chakra is big right now. All the time, we're healing it, massively rising of the sensitivity, the empath, the feminine. So here I am saying here that essentially what happens is that, wounds, when we're healing them in our body, there is a way that, we really can stay on the surface in our healing process, because deep within the central channel and deep lower in the body, first, second, and third chakras are very subconscious to us. At the same time, they house I'm going to make up a percentage. This isn't factual. This is just for affect and explaining. We'll say 75% of our wounds exist from the waist down in our energy body, and it operates. They are the base of our tree trunk. They are the fertilizer to our energy system. They are what feed our monkey mind, our victimizer. They are what cause our heart to react in racing, in anxiety. It has to do with what we're holding in the lower half of the body. And so I was saying earlier, with healing work, we can heal what we're aware of, but if we're really willing to go deeper, then we're taking journeys into the lower chakras and into the central channel of the body to really identify at the root level what we're holding and what we're carrying in our energy system. And from a healing perspective, when we start to go very deep in core in our body, we're moving energy consciousness from the central channel where it might be embedded as a core wound. We're moving it out. We're moving it out even further. And we're moving it even further. We're moving it through, I'm guiding into this area of my body. I'm breathing. I'm tuning in. I'm feeling. And I'm starting to move this energy to the periphery of my body where it becomes less core. Healing in our system means we have a different reaction to a life experience that was originally very triggering or traumatizing to revisit or to have an awareness of. And so when we start to shift our relationship to that memory, we are healing. In the energy body, that means no longer am I living with this wound being part of my identity in the core of my being. Now I am becoming more me. Light is filling into this space. The wound is over here. Because it's over here, I can see it now. And now that I see it, I'm starting to have some life experiences that actually trigger it a bit and bring it into my awareness. There it is again. I see the wound. I see the pattern, but it doesn't have a hold on me. Instead, I see it. There's more me. And so I'm able to work more on an energetic level with this wound. I'm able to tune in more, breathe in more, process more in my system. The wound moves out even further. I start to gain some separateness from it. I can see it more subjectively. I can feel more of myself. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's gone. But I have more of me. Or I should say, yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's not gone. But I have more of me in the center of my being. And eventually we start to shift our relationship with the wound because it's not so hardwired anymore in the deep center of our being. It's moving out to the periphery of the energy system. And eventually we heal from the wound. Now, this migration from the central channel of our body to the periphery of our auric field could take a lifetime. And it can take a long time. And there is, healing has its own timing. And so we can honor the process and stay attuned to our work. But this path of I've got to step in and hold my space and my center is crucial. Filling in is crucial to letting go. So those two in tandem work together with healing. I want to be very clear with you that I am not the healer who bypasses the lower body, the humanness, the pain in the system, the empathy, the process of sitting and being with the hard stuff in the body in order to, to give over, surrender to the awareness that spirit guides and angels have more power over us. Guess what? They don't. And I'll tell you what, when spirit guides and angels who are of the divine light are here to support us, they will step in when we call and ask for it, and they'll step out when we need to stew in our own pasta. Literally, when we need to do our work, if we are in a codependent relationship with spirit guides and angels and giving over our power as if they know more about us than we do, then we're in trouble. Then we're in a wounded codependent relationship with them. And I'll tell you that they are here to echo back into you what exists already inside you. They're just reminding you what you already know, and that deeper wisdom that you hold in the central channel of your being and in the pillar of your body is the same goddess essence that the spirit guides and angels embody. And they're just here to mirror and remind you what exists inside you. They're here to help you hear it and see it and get to it. And so my experience with spirit guides and angels is that I woke up very young to my gift. I had a nervous breakdown at 19 years old. And I've said this story in many of my books and some of my YouTube videos. So just know that you can revisit this story, and I won't go too in depth in it here. But I'll tell you that part of my awakening process was really understanding the power of my central channel. And I was very young, and I was a yogi back then, but the philosophy of the central channel work hadn't come to me at that time. I was just getting this profound awareness of my central channel. At the same time, I was learning healing work, and I was taking these what I would call my meditation hikes. I was living near the Chautauqua area of Boulder, Colorado. It's beautiful Flatirons, and I was in college at the time, and I was struggling. I was struggling in a university, in an academic setting, when I was having these very profound awakenings, and it was so contradictory to what I was immersing into academically, and I couldn't find my bearings. So I'd go on these walks, and in them I would cry, and I would feel water moving through the pipelines, and I would get angry, and I would feel it, and I literally felt like the faucet was turning on through the central channel of my body, and I was purifying. And as I was purifying and purifying, I did this walk every day for a year. My posture changed. And as my posture was changing, I was also hearing downloads from spirit guides and angels. And I wasn't experiencing an exit from my body, or I wasn't experiencing a a disconnection from myself, that sense of living too high up. That wasn't happening for me. What was happening for me is that I was learning how to be a human being in the world, and I was very real with my feelings. I was going through a tremendous amount of healing in my human relationships and in my life. My heart was cracking open, though. And when divine guidance, when the pillar of grace really connects powerfully into your heart, in heart chakra area of the body, what happens is divine guidance becomes a part of you. It becomes that, again, the spirit guides and angels aren't something outside of you that know more than you do. If they're in union with God and grace, then they're here to echo the vibrancy that exists in the channel of your heart. And this was ultimately the healer heart opening up for me. And so I would hear the guidance, but I would feel the guidance. And it became to where I felt the angels and spirit guides feeding my channel of divinity and love, and information coming through on the heart frequency as a healing for people. And since then, I've been offering, for a long time now, I had been offering these monthly healings to my community. And I've been a healer for 25 years. And I would say for, a good 15 to 18 years, I'd been offering these free monthly healings for a long time. And then it got to a point where I had a child, and everything changed, and I started the School of Intuitive Studies. But the community was feeling this profound benefit from receiving these beautiful healings. And so I would go into my channel, and I would allow for divinity to flow through. And as I was facilitating the healing work that was coming through, people were having major transformation. I mean, major healings. And everyone, the most common feedback that I would hear every single class by multiple people was, I cannot believe that healing wasn't just for me. How could that not have been just for me? And here's what's important to know with spirit guides and angels is that I talked about the core central channel of the body. Archetypally, in the center of our being, we carry personal and collective wounds in our being. We are ultimately here as a collective consciousness to purge what we might have been holding for generations. And some of those generations, those wounds were appropriate for. They were, again, part of survival. And we continue to wake up. We continue to evolve as a consciousness, as a species. In that, we are becoming more pure. We're becoming more true to our being. That's the pillar of light, is our center of truth in who we are. And so that when the spirit guides and angels are connecting, are reading and in tuned to everyone in the space, we're working with universal truth in the body, including the universal wounds that we hold in our energy system. And yes, they are deeply personal, but they are also how we are in connection with each other in this world. And so as we're here to heal our collective wounds and our personal wounds, we're also here to connect and learn how to connect to each other and to this planet from a place of light and empowerment. That is our process over this era of time that we're in, that we're evolving, that we're moving more towards the era of truth, that it's taking time. We live on a planet of duality. Yes, there's shadow, but we learn how to strengthen our being in the face of shadow. We embrace the shadow. We don't escape it and blame it, make it wrong. It's part of our human existence. Spirit guides and angels are aware of that. They're not here to take us out of our humanness. They're here to guide us through our deep healing and to help us through the human path, human existence. A little more about angels and spirit guides. They are, spirit guides in particular, most of the time, they have been embodied, and that means human or animal. So they may have some personality. They might know human emotions, more so than angels, who have a job of emanating light, bringing peace, bringing alignment. They're of service to the divine. So they are going to hold that divine pillar, and we are going to, our energy body is going to shift and adjust accordingly. We're going to release energy accordingly or align accordingly. They hold that constant. And spirit guides have a little more of an understanding of our emotional process. So they may sometimes come through with strong words, like kicking you in the butt right now. You got to get off your seat and take some action, or they'll make you laugh, or they'll be very direct and clear. They have a little more of a personality awareness to them. At the same time, I want to be very clear. They do not come into your energy body. They have been there, done that. It's not their turn this time. They're like, it's your turn. It's our turn this time. And by all means, you might have been a spirit guide to somebody else at some point. So I want to be clear that, spirit guides and angels will hold their distance, will step in if we need the help, and will step out truly when we need to be on our own and figure it out in ourselves, because they're not here to live our life for us, and they're not here to take over. I personally do not use the word channeling when I talk about my work in receiving higher guidance, because I'm not allowing a single being to come through my body or through my channel. I'm allowing the guidance to be facilitated by allowing it to resonate, the remembrance of what the wisdom is that exists in the power of my own channel and my own being. And so I want to be very clear about that. That being said, that the experience of healing that happens in with spirit guides and angels is just, it's deep, it's personal, it's collective. It is a powerful inner experience. And it's meant for us to heal what we're holding in our energy body. So without further ado, I would love to guide you into healing. So we'll take a few minutes. It won't be as deep and long as perhaps an hour healing will be, but I want you to take this time right now to drop in to the best of your ability at the time that we have right now. So let's take a moment. You can close your eyes. My eyes will be closed, and we'll begin with breathing. So feel your legs and your feet. Feel your grounding cord making contact with your seat. Feel your grounding cord as this nice, secure beam of light or tree trunk, secure around the sides of your hips, your low belly, your low spine, and extending down deep, 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 deep through the layers of the earth, going deep into the core of the planet. Grounding you here and allowing you to be surrounded by a beautiful sphere of divinity and love. And as you're surrounded in this sphere of love, I pray for protection around you, around myself, around our space together as you're here in this time. I pray and see our angels surrounding us here, our spirit guides surrounding us here, who work on behalf of the divine, who are infused with the light of God just as we are. I use the word God because it's the highest attunement for me, not necessarily associated religiously, but it's the frequency of the highest divinity in my being or in my practice. If there's another word that's better for you or helps you stay connected, love, universe, divine love, grace, feel free to choose whatever word helps you feel your resonance. Feel your inner connection. And I pray that my connection is open to God. I receive grace through my crown to my third eye, throat, and heart. It goes down deep into the earth. It is protected with pure love. And I pray that our time together in this moment is held in the highest of each of us and of the planet. Silently to yourself or out loud, you can accept this healing. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you what is coming through. And know that as this information comes through, it comes through with a healing vibrancy and frequency. So you'll receive healing as the words are coming through. Okay, they're saying greetings. Greetings. We are here as your beloved spirit guides and angels of Most High on this journey and path of evolutionary opening and infusion of divinity and love. And we know it's hard. We know it's hard. We know what you are experiencing in your life through separation, through loss, through lack of connection, disconnection, through the power of discovery in your being, through the understanding of what is erupting in you as palpable palpitations, as love guiding you to more. We know you know there is more. And we know you know that by being true to your own heart and to your own love in your being, that more will open up to you on your path. And so we're here to help you, first of all, with grounding into your back body, with leaning back into receptivity and to limit the trying. Don't try so hard. Lean back into receiving. We're going to call shower of light through your being. Sending you love and inviting some of the heavy karma held embedded in between the vertebrae of your spine. Start to let go. Your back is tense, holding too much. And the light of divinity that's pouring through is sending a different type of signal to your back body, a signal of hope, a signal of comfort and encouragement. That your courageous self comes from being courageously encouraged by the divine through the power of faith and inner knowing. You are not alone. You are here in company with the power of your soul's light, who is speaking to you, who has things to say, lots to say, has ways of expressing. And we're sending light to the vibrancy of your soul to give your soul more space and permission to take up more space. We're inviting your front body to let go of the worry. They're saying there's a way. They're saying don't solve the world's problems in your front body. Solve your problems first. They feed into the world's problems. Let go in your front body of needing to fix it, and lean back into your back body to allow more divinity, prayer, and grace, into guiding your soul to open up more capacity in your being. To send more light through the pain and the wounds. To open up dormant pockets of blankness, emptiness, and unoccupied space in your being, and to fill yourself out. You can't fix the world's problems from your front body alone. Your back body needs to be sourced, filled, protected, engaged. And so we're pouring a waterfall of light through the top of your head, like a shower through your back body. A shower through the back side of your aura. This might be an area that houses history. It's also an area that when you lean back into connects you to deeper self-love, receiving from source. And as you lean back into this beautiful waterfall, it sends the vibrant essence into the backside of your chakra system, giving you power, light, prayer, strength. And as that prayer light, that infusion of light illuminates your chakras in the center of your body, it balances the front and back sides of your body so that you become centered, not so front body focused. You can open up more power and light in your central channel. And then the waterfall can come over the top of your head to rinse out your front body. Take some deep breaths, breathe deeply. Your angels surround you in a vibratory essence of love. Soften your heart. Breathe into your belly. Receive this healing. Allow your body to let go in the presence of divine love. Soaking up that love in the cells of your being. And inviting your energy body to come into alignment, full alignment. We are settling your system into peace, grounding, inviting your soul to take a deep seat in your lower body. You may be balanced between your upper body and lower body, and your front body and your back body. We hold space for a vibrant central channel, the pathway of love and divinity in your being. Stay true to yourself. Stay true. Listen deeply to the waking consciousness in your body, in your being. Your soul has lots to say. Write it down, speak it, dance with it, move with it. Listen to it. It has more answers than are out there. Behold prayer light around your being now and going forward, that this healing support you in this moment. May it support you in the great love, infusion of love, mirroring this love into your being. May you go forth in your day feeling balanced, grounded, and connected to yourself. We are your spirit guides of Most High on the path to oneness. All is love. We are here. Many blessings. And so the spirit guides and angels start to move back. They move in for the healing and facilitating at a respectful distance, and then they move back when they're complete, allowing the luminosity. I pray that this healing supported you here in this moment. I pray that you are surrounded with love and blessings as you go about your day in your light, your empowered being you. Pray that our energies are grounded into our own bodies individually. I give thanks to God the Father and God the Mother, to the angels and guides who are present, helping each of us heal here in our highest good. I'm grateful for being of service in the highest way that I can be. I pray that we continue to walk in the love and light of who we are, and that we may be guided by our own true hearts every step of the way. And thank you. So take a moment, allow it to settle, feel your body, feel your energy system, just feel yourself. And know that this healing, it's a balancing, and the frequency of light may still be supporting you, working with you energetically in your body. Now, I want to say that, this is a piece of a healing. This is I would say an abbreviated version of a healing, of a deep healing. And there's opportunity to go deeper, longer, very intricate healings into the energetic system and body. And in the beginning, I talked about the lower chakras and the central channel. This was a healing to help balance and help you kind of orient in. And sometimes we need to do that before our body will allow us to go deeper. We don't heal if we don't feel safe to. And sometimes we need that time to just clear on the periphery in order to go in a little bit deeper, and for the energy body to let go a little more. So if you are looking for an opportunity to practice this work and to go deeper into your own healing, I want to share with you an opportunity where you can work with me, where we can go deeper in your healing. And it's through a monthly healing I offer called the Divine Healing Inner Circle. And this healing process is that once a month, I offer an hour-long guided healing. And it's a journey. It's a journey deep into the subconscious of your being to help clear blocks that are held in the body. And we have a theme typically every month. We might work with lineage energy. We might work with the wounded masculine. We might work with codependency. We might work with deeper letting go in the body. We might work with various issues that show up for people in the world regarding, our what's in the way of our emergence. And a lot of that is our shadow work. And so we go deep into these healings to clear energy that's held in the system. And I facilitate this very, very powerful healing every month. And students come out of it saying, I can't believe that wasn't just for me. It's very personal, and it's very archetypal at the same time. And also know that, I'm receiving the higher guidance just as I facilitated for you right now, but I'm also tuning into the collective So information comes in. Sometimes I'll be reading the group and there'll be, a piece of information that I won't understand in the moment as it's coming through, but then someone later will say, when you got to that point and you said this, oh, it rang for me. And I thought, that's who that was for. I couldn't figure, it wasn't for me. It didn't resonate for me, but it resonated for people. So there's a process of allowing the healing to come through and also really being attuned to the group. So what happens is in the process is we have an hour-long healing, and then we have a 30-minute Q&A. So that gives us the opportunity to debrief the healing. How was that for you? Do you have any questions about it? What came up for you in the process? A lot of people who come to this healing are seeking the deeper healing work. Many have had years of therapy or years of, some type of process, and they come in they're looking for the deeper healing. And some haven't. Some have felt like, wow, I've just really been called to going deeper in myself. There is something for everybody in this process, in the healings, and the sharing in that 30-minute Q&A is just so powerful. There's so much in the group, really getting to hear each other and speak to each other and just get that sense that I'm in community and I'm not alone in this experience. And then you have this time to integrate that healing for a couple of weeks. And then we have a mid-month Q&A call. And I call it a Q&A call, but I'll tell you that it's more of a discussion. It's more of a community connection. I do open up with another guided healing in it. It isn't as long, but I help, reorient back into where we were. In the first call, it's very grounding, very healing. And then we go into connection, questions come up. People want to share their process or even just ask very deep, profound questions about, what's come up for them or just really what is some sharings about the process in related to the topic and related to what their experience might have been in the past couple of weeks. And there's a community group, a social media group. There's just this powerful opportunity for us to be in community with each other in a healing process. It's so valuable. I will tell you, if you are someone who needs energy healing monthly, please join this group. It's incredible. It is a profound opportunity for you as a healer, as a parent, as a teacher, as a wife, as a husband, as anyone, anywhere is able to receive deep healing. And that word is important, receive. You just get to come in, close your eyes, and receive deep healing work. And I am so excited to be offering this to you. I hope that you join me for the Divine Healing Inner Circle. It is a fantastic price of $39 a month or $399 for the year. So it's affordable. It's the opportunity for you to go into a very deep process of healing in your system on a monthly basis. It is incredibly valuable. It shifts how you be in your system, in your body. It transforms how you are with others, how you are in your work life, how you are in relationship, how you are showing up in the world. It's very, very important work to be doing. And I hope you join me. Again, it's $39 a month, $399 a year if you want to pay in one payment. And it is just incredible. So I hope that you join me for the Divine Healing Inner Circle. I hope this video provided for you tremendous value. And please take time to just really be in the immersion of that healing and that balance between your front body and back body and awareness of your central channel in our Divine Healing Inner Circle monthly group. We will continue to keep purifying what's held in the energy body to allow more of that central channel to be radiant and powerful and for you to emerge who you're here to be. So many, many blessings to you. Thank you for being with me, and I appreciate our time together here in this process, and I look forward to our continued work together. Many blessings.